Guess what? I'm speaking to Nnenna Freelon, who was performing at Dizzy's Jazz Club on March 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Don't miss her. That's what I'm saying. She's an American jazz singer, composer, producer, and arranger. I even think she was a nurse and a medical person and a health of a great person. Nina, how you been?
Oh, I'm good. How about you?
I've been good. So you know
Good.
what Eubie Blake said um, when he turned 100?
What did he say? If he knew he was going to live so long, he would have, I don't know.
You're close. He would have taken better care of himself.
Oh my goodness.
Now I say that because Nina won the Eubie Blake Award. She won a Billie Holiday Award, and
Yeah.
this lady can sing, and she can sing from the church to the stage. So tell us how you feeling today.
I'm good. Just finished a 4-hour rehearsal, getting ready for the show, which opens tomorrow evening. And it was a great rehearsal. So exciting to do, to have the honor to play with these New York musicians and going to be at Dizzy's Club for 3 nights. 2 shows a night. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to take my Wheaties.
Well, you're a natural. So I think your grandma said that to you. Follow your passion. Have you followed your passion?
I have, I have, I have followed my passion. I'm doing what I was put here on the planet to do.
And you will continue doing it?
Well, it's kind of like I don't have a choice. Nothing else, feels quite right. So, we evolve, we change, we grow, but I'm in my lane. I'm definitely in my lane.
Now you're a mom also, right?
Yeah, 3 kids, 6 grandkids, and yeah, it's lovely to be surrounded by family.
So you're a complete package.
Oh,
So what's going to be on over there at Disney's? What were you rehearsing? I mean, I believe you have a song. You lost some close relatives to yourself, and is that right? Did I understand
yeah,
that
yeah. I mean, my husband passed in 2019
Uh-huh.
from ALS, and
I'm so sorry.
yeah, thank you. We were married almost 40 years,
Oh,
and so I do have a new record out, and it's called Beneath the Skin.
hmm.
So it's kind of like out of the ashes of a really hard experience has come this piece of art. And my record is a way of kind of metabolizing the grief, really. Um, I did write a song called Last Dream Home. All the tunes on the record are original tunes. So they're all like pages from my life. I wrote a song called Widow Song. I wrote a song called Last Dream Home. And then I have, it's not all centered grief centric. It's also just what it feels like to be who I am at this moment in time. And I'm really proud of it and very, very excited to share it with my audience starting tomorrow night.
So, in that you lost somebody, I'm actually I'm an interfaith minister as well, Reverend. And actually these last bunch of years, with COVID and I'm an older guy now, and friends are transitioning, I think is the word that some people say.
Yeah.
And so, um, ha- any suggestions for those that haven't lost somebody? But when that day comes, I guess, unfortunately, that inevitable day, um, what do you think? What have you learned from this experience?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for that question. And I don't feel I'm wise enough to answer it for anyone but me.
Okay.
What I have discovered is that one of the things I've discovered in the grief journey is, first of all, that it is a journey, and it's a journey with no set, you don't have a compass, you don't have a map, um, and there's no sort of linear time. It's not a straight line. And the things that I learned as a musician, the things I learned about improvisation, about how to be flexible, about how to be resilient, about how to stretch. Um, those are the things that have sustained me in my grief journey, is the improvisational tools. Change the key, um, change the tempo, be willing to swing with the strange rhythms of grief, not grate against it, but swing with it. And it's hard. I'm not trying to pretend that this is an easy thing. However, all of this talk about you got to be strong and you have to be, you'll be okay, and God never gives you more than you can handle. I haven't found those things to be true. What
Well,
I found to be true is that sometimes you're offered just a little bit of grace, a moment to engage your grief, to get to know who you are in this moment. I mean, it's quite an extraordinary journey to walk this life in a way that you didn't think you would have to. And everybody experiences it differently. Sometimes it's a sudden death. My husband's death was, ALS gave you sort of you could see it coming. You had a prognosis that told you it was going to be a certain amount of time, but you always think you have more. So even at the end, it was just very hard, learning to walk this life without my best friend, my partner, my my buddy, my confidant. All of those things transitioned when he did. At the same time, I'm learning that he is not so far away. I don't know if this,
yay.
I'm not sure this is true for everybody, but I talk to him all the time. He is literally in the next room. He's delighted that I'm here in New York, getting ready to hit the stage. Um, I have somehow learned how to create a relationship with someone who's not in physical form.
Do you ever
And
see, oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Do you ever see things that, of course, that remind you of him, but it's anything like, I'm like you. I'm very spiritual overall. Actually, I was at a it's kind of a meeting tonight about some medicine for Parkinson's disease. My
Mm.
mother passed away from that transition, and so I wanted to learn more about this new medicine and so on. But my sister sees ladybugs every once in a while, and and that reminds her of her parents. Uh,
Mm.
is anything, and I believe in this. I believe that things, just sort of like, is there anything that comes to your mind that says, he's here?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's very, very present in my life. Um, he because ALS is the kind of disease that is um, you very slowly lose muscle control of your voluntary muscles, and um, it's insidious the way it sort of wears at you. So, but as a result of having that kind of illness, we had a lot of time to talk. a lot of time to make plans. Phil, he made spreadsheets for me. I knew where everything was, all the passcodes, all the things, the insurance policies, the everything. While he could, he made it as easy for me as as he could. And after he died, I feel like the universe was literally doing backflips to get my attention. I saw turtles. I got messages from birds, butterflies, Luna moths, um, ants. I mean, if you look, if you are present, well, I'll say when I was present, I could hear messages from him. I could see shapes that look like his face in the clouds. But these are not the kind of things I would have paid attention to if I had been busy in my normal life. You know, the turtle I saw lumbering up our long driveway on her way to God knows where, um, probably to lay eggs, because who would walk on a hot summer day on a hot asphalt if it were not for something so strong like the the drive to procreate, to lay those eggs. And I just saw her effort as being kind of like what my husband, he labored with the disease. He walked as far as he could, until he found a shady place to lie down. And that's what I got from looking at this turtle.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. Let me ask you just a couple more. I know you're probably tired. You got to get some good sleep tonight. You got a big show tomorrow. You're not only an entertainer, you went to a Simmons, you went to a very fine college. You're a smart woman, obviously. Um, are you still doing this baby song workshops? Are you still involved with that organization?
I, it gets harder and harder. It's so funny. You start something from a real heart level and you do it, but then as you get busier, it's harder to do those small workshops, those intimate moments where Baby Song is a project I started to encourage mothers and also fathers and other caregivers to use their voices to sing to their babies. Babies are, their brains are so plastic and so open to all of the loving messages and vibrations that we can share with them. And they are already familiar at 6 months gestation. They know their mother's voice before they're even born. So the workshop is to encourage people to sing to the babies. We have a lot of recorded music, and I've seen little kids with headphones on. None of the music that we could share with our children is more precious and more important than the music that we share heart to heart. So that's what the workshop is based on. And surprisingly, a lot of people are shy about using their voices. They're like, oh, well, you're a Grammy nominated singer, of course. You can sing to a baby. But the thing is, babies are not critics. And they love the sound of the familiar.
Yeah, it's
So,
music.
so do that with your creaky, croaky, maybe you judge as not so great voice, and the baby's going to find it absolutely stupendous. And so do that because it's a real important way of bonding.
And you're really a perfect way for bonding with the world and sharing your natural talents. This is going to be a great weekend for you and those that are wise enough to come over to Dizzy's Club. And you're much more than an entertainer. You're a great humanitarian and a caring one. And so you are good news. Uh,
Oh,
for us all. And I'm hoping you can do some stuff with us on some of our events that we have, Earth Day coming up. And I just, spoke to you years ago, and you still are a perfect specimen. They made a
Oh,
perfect
thank you.
specimen.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I
So,
love it. I love it.
what are your ways to reach out to you? Do you have some websites, social
Yeah,
media?
yeah, I do have a website. The website is Nnenna.com, and I'll spell that. It's Nnenna.com. And all the information that you may want to find out is there. I have a podcast called Great Grief with Nnenna Freelon. And it's a musically supported narrative podcast. So I tell stories, and it's supported by music. It's improvisational, and it was one of the ways that I was able to move through my grief was by writing for this podcast. We're getting ready to launch season 3. There are 2 seasons out there, 11 episodes. If you feel so moved, Great Grief with Nnenna Freelon. And yeah, I'm living my life. I feel blessed to be able to talk about a subject that that some people wouldn't gravitate toward normally. Let me just put it that way. We are a grief averse culture. But grief is the flip side of love, as far as I'm concerned. When you've had a great love, you're going to have a great grief. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
I'm with you. And I say, well, I say amen, but I also say I women. So I women to you. I look forward to coming over there on Sunday to see you, and congratulations on your great success. You have sung with some of the greatest artists in the history of humanity, I'll say. And that's all great. Nnenna,
Thank you.
thank you so much for sharing these moments with us.
Thank you very much. You have a good evening.
You as well. Bye bye.
Bye.